twist, and welcome back to Raw Recap and Review. This is the May 4th episode from Omaha, Nebraska, and this is part 2 of that. So if you haven't seen part 1, man, click up there, man. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. Click up there, man. I say this every week, and they don't do it. I don't know why. But we left off talking about Sol Ruka signing officially to Raw and beefing with Becky Lynch, but now we're gonna say his name and hopefully he appears. Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is not here, but he is having a match. This is the third match of the night against Austin Theory. But before the match happens, you know, he gets in the ring and does another performance of fire Logan Paul. And Paul pops out again, like the last time happened. Says, I told you last time you can't fire me. Nobody can fire me. TKO can't fire me. They need me. And Joe's like, okay, since you're here, man, let me apologize, man. I got this little song for you. He goes to sing the same thing again, and Theory's like, okay, chill. I got it. He runs into the ring, tries to fight Joe before their match happens, but Joe ain't having it. Clothesline Austin Theory to the outside, down. Joe's looking at Logan, which leads to a distraction. That leads to Austin Theory attacking Joe Hendry from behind, banging multiple punches on him, grabbing his head, bink on the head right there. Grabs him, slams him down to the ground, picks him up for a backbreaker. But Joe fights back. He gets an uppercut onto him, gets some multiple chops onto him, Irish whips him into he tries to Irish whip him, but Austin Theory reverses the Irish whip to a really hard Irish whip, slams that man Joe into the corner. Then he picks him up for more punches. He grabs him up, puts him with a big suplex, big boo by the crowd. Everybody's hating on Austin Theory. Austin Theory's up there wasting all his time. Then he tries to go for the suplex again, but it gets reversed by Joe Hendry by landing his own suplex onto him. Joe then landing punches onto him. Then Irish whipping Austin Theory and hitting him with a big clothesline. Leads to him hitting the big clothesline on him in the corner. And then he hits him with the big fall away back slam onto him, which leads him to do the or a foreign turn around, but as he turns around, Logan Paul attacks him. He's not rocking with it. Joe Hendry gets the DQ win. That match gets 1 star. That match did nothing. It's not a match for real, but that leads to them fighting him. But Joe fights back. He's fighting back on a Logan, but Theory from behind hits from the back. Then it leads to the double team on a Joe Hendry. But then the Street Profits pop out. They get into the ring. They start whooping on the Vision, but Braun Breaker ain't having. He grabbed that man Montez, throw that man over the ring. He tries to land a big spear on Angelo Dawkins, but Seth Rollins grabbed that man leg, pull that man outside the ring, grabs him, throws him into the stairs. Then they start brawling in the ring. He lands a big he's fighting Braun on the ground. Theory tries to go on the apron. He knocked that man down. Logan tried to go on the apron, knocked that man down, let a big clothesline on the Braun. Then he tries to set up the stump. Before that happens, Montez gets into the ring and then jumps over Seth while he's near the corner onto the Vision and to his own partner, by the way, which distracts Seth because he's like, I thought he was going to attack me. And then, boom, spear by Braun Breaker on the Seth because he was distracted, which leads to Braun going, you almost got me there. You almost got me. Joe Hendry getting a lot of action. Street Profits, they're really showing how much they want them belts. And Seth keep getting whooped, man. Hilarious. Then we get to our next segment. We get another interview. We get our interview from the Judgment Day. Jackie Redmond is asking the Judgment Day, what's the new focus? And Liv says, the focus now is to get all the gold and to knock down anyone in our way. Says the big focus to winners to win belts right now are Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne. At least Raquel saying, that they want to fight Brie and Paige. They want them to pull up to Raw. Bayley says, oh, look at y'all, man. Ain't none of y'all can do things by yourself, man. Y'all always want to fight over this little family thing. And at least Lyra Valkyria saying, I challenge y'all family. And Liv's like, you want to challenge our family. It says, come on, guys. Let's go. Now it's time for but the Oba Femi Open Challenge is here. He popped out, marching down. He says the time has come. And that Alpha Babes theme pop out. You see Maxine Dupree. You see Otis. And you see Tozawa. Tozawa in the middle. He walking down. He ready for the challenge, man. He getting hype. He walk in the ring. He walk up to that man Oba. He go, oh no. He's like, I can't do this. He get outside, and Oba was looking like, he really gonna fight me? But Tozawa doesn't do it. So Otis steps and he like, I got you, twin. I got you. Otis getting in and Oba rocking with that. He like, yeah, we get the big beefy men slapping meat fight. They don't need no bread, no water, just meat. Shout out to Booker T. They get into the ring. The bell rings. They get into a big tie up. Oba pushes that man Otis, but not too much. They start circling around now. At least Otis trying to land a big shoulder tackle on that man, but we get a stalemate. But now it's Oba's turn. He's trying to let the shoulder tackle. Big stalemate. They start pushing each other back and forth. Otis rip his shirt off. He get right. That leads to them going multiple shoulder tackles back and forth. But Oba tries to land a clothesline. He misses. They both hit the rope again, but uppy. Oba led the big uppercut on that man. He grabbed Otis. Back suplex. Throw that man. That's over 300 pounds. He could. I don't know how he spitting that water like that, man. I don't know how you do that. I'm like, he got like extra water reserve or something. And then he goes, man, it's fall from grace time. But he says, like, how am I gonna do this? He's like, wait a second. I can't lift that man up. He put that man on the corner turnbuckle so he can get some extra leverage. Powerbomb on that man. 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi gets a dub. I give that match 3 stars. Beefy, big beefy man match because it's not like I can't compare it to other rim matches. Them other rim matches like not really the same for real. But squash matches, I give it a 3 star. It was fine. Then we get to our last match of the night. We get Los Americanos, El Grande Americano with Rayo and Bravo versus OG El Grande Americano with 2 partners. Los Americanos Hermanos, which are the Creed brothers, if you don't know. It's Julius Creed, who's known as Julio in this, and we have Brutus Creed, who's known as Bruno. So I'll be saying those names in this match. The match instantly starts with a big brawl by all the Americanos. They're all fighting each other, and each member of Los Americanos gets knocked out one by one, which leads then Grande, Rayo, Bravo on the outside. Bravo's the first one to get back into the ring, but he gets lifted up by Bruno. Big slam down into the ground. Then Bruno lets a big uppy onto him, tags in his partner Julio, which leads to them doing a double big body drop onto him. Then a big tag drop that leads to Bravo then tagging in Rayo. Rayo gets into the ring, big chops on the Julio, but Julio stops that by landing a big front to front suplex. Then picks him up for a German suplex, tags in OG. OG gets into the ring, and then Julio and Bruno land corner attacks onto Rayo, and then OG lands a big hip toss on the Rayo, goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Rayo. Rayo then gets up, gets a big punch onto OG, tags in El Grande. That leads to a tie-up between El Grande and OG, which OG gets out of it by landing a big smack onto El Grande. That leads to another tag, which leads to OG trying to run off the ropes, but it gets his legs get pulled down by one of the Americanos, and that leads to El Grande landing a baseball slide on him on the outside, which leads on to a commercial break. Back from the commercial break with Rayo having a chokehold on the Julio, but Julio just jumps back on his back to slam him down. That leads to a double down between both men, which leads on to the hot tag. It was a weak hot tag, low key. It was a big back body drop on the El Grande, which leads to then Bravo trying to get on the top rope, and he gets caught by OG and then slams him. Then he gets the leg sweep on the El Grande, which then he leads to doing a front flip kick onto Rayo on the apron. That leads to OG grabbing El Grande, hitting that man with an angle slam, going for the pin. 1, 2, but it's stopped by the Americanos. But as it stopped, OG finds a way to flip the Americanos into a double German suplex onto them. OG Americano is like goated in WWE, but when he comes to AAA, He getting whooped by El Grande. There's the flip on the Grande, but then at least the Rayo hitting the clothesline to OG. Rayo is now on the top rope, but at least the Julio jumping on the top rope, grabbing that man, landing a big superplex on him. Bruno on the other top rope lands the moonsault. That leads to El Grande getting in the ring, landing a big headbutt onto Julio, then a big kick on the Bruno. Then that leads to El Grande, then land a headbutt onto the OG Americano, and then at least the Bravo land a big splash on the OG. 1, 2, kick out from OG. He not going out like that. Rayo on the outside on the apron. Rayo lands a kick onto Bruno and then tries to dive onto him, but Julio takes advantage of that. He grabs Rayo, picks him up, powerbomb him on the apron, and then inside the ring, the OG while this happening inside the ring, the OG Americano is landing a German suplex on the Bravo, and then goes to the top rope for a diving headbutt. Uno, dos, tres. The OG Americano gets the dub with Los Americanos Hermanos. I give that match a 4.5 star. Very hard match to trying to get specific, everything going around. Big back and forth, a lot of lucha action, very high impact, and pretty soon the Americano, pretty soon OG and El Grande are going to be fighting mask and AAA. So I wonder who's going to win that, because whoever wins it is I think Lou is going to win that match though, because he's so over in Mexico. It's insane. But then we get to our main event, because when you're Roman Reigns as your champion, you're going to have talking to end it. And we have the Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu contract signing for the World Heavyweight Championship. We get it was a commercial break after the match earlier, so we get to the ring with Roman Reigns holding the belt up. Big pyro pop out. Adam Pearce does the intro for Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu pop out with some oily eye arms for no reason, by the way. Pearce has them both sit down. He says, we just need 2 signatures, man. You know how it go. Let's get the signing. Roman says, Pearce, you know how these things go. You know how this work, man. Omaha, acknowledge me. They acknowledge him, at least the big OTC chants. He says, Fatu, you hear that, man? That's more than love, man. It's respect. And it says, Fatu, you've been grinding for 12 years in the industry, man, but I've been grinding for over 12 years. That's what's gotten me to respect. That's what got me everything I deserve. He says, I'm the one that brought Solo into the business. And he brought you in. So technically, that means I brought you in. He says he'd be damned if he ain't going to be respected by him, especially by people in their own family. And he says, there's a code of conduct when it comes between the bloodline, between the family. He says, you pulled out the Tongan death grip on me? He said, that's a move you supposed to pull out. It's 3 a.m. You fighting at the bar and somebody trying to get you. He said, you don't pull that out on family. It's a respect. You don't put that on family. And it's like, how could you do that? And Father just said, man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. I am desperate. And my back is against the wall. And I'm going to do everything and anything I can to get everything that you have, Roman. He says, and I'm finna squeeze out every dollar and cent that this company is taking from my family, for my own. He says, I'm going to do anything for my household. And whether that's, and Roman's like, what? Let me sign this paper. He said, you know what, Fatu? You always talking about your household. He said, I done did all this work for not just your household, for multiple households. You talk about your 7 kids or whatever. Fatu, you got a lot of kids. He said, you talk about your kids. Think about over 100 kids I done helped in the bloodline, man. And the thing is, and you want to know why? Because I'm the one that can handle it. This company wants to do business with me. This ring is mine. Like I told Brock, everything in here is mine. He says, you know what? He says, at the end of the day, though, me and you, Fatu, we're equal because we are the same blood. We are the same family. But when it comes to WWE, you are beneath me. And Jacob, he did not go for that Tongan death grip. Tongan death grip, but Roman fights out of it. He starts, he gets him off him and throws a chair at him. But then Fatu Tiger death grip again. He gets it, but Roman fights back at it. He gets gets the 10 punches onto that man. That leads to Adam Pearce trying to get involved, trying to push him off with it. Roman tries to land a Superman punch, but Tiger death grip. He's on it now, and then slams him on the table. It doesn't break. I am the table. And that leads to Fatu standing tall, signs the contract now, slam that thing on the ground, and that's how we end Raw with Jacob looking on top again over Roman, which means he's going to lose at Backlash. But that's going to be the end of part 2 of this Raw recap and review. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed WWE2K26 content as well, I'll be having it on this channel soon. We got My Rise coming up. We finished the CM Punk showcase, so be able to check that out. And also we're gonna be having the Backlash review when it happens. So we're gonna have the Backlash review coming out on that next Sunday. So I enjoyed the show. Show. Can't wait for Backlash. Looks like it's gonna be some entertaining matches, and Roman's gonna win. If you don't know that, guys, Roman's gonna win. I'd be surprised if Roman actually loses. So yes, that's gonna be in this video. I'm Twist, and I'm out.